I'm so sorry. I had to grab another beer because I was drinking very fast because lots of stressful information just came in all at once.
Oh, okay. Well, no, don't mind
Is
me.
it good
So awesome, man. Well, welcome. Thanks for taking some time.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, well, I'll start with this. You're over in the UK, correct?
Yes.
All right. So, how's life over the last year in the UK with COVID and the pandemic? How are you dealing with it?
Uh, I guess probably pretty similar to most places, not really been able to do too much in terms of a band. Like we weren't too badly affected, I guess, because we had kind of earmarked last year as a time to work on a new record. So we only cancelled like I think 3 shows. So we weren't affected by the lack of being able to tour too much, which is very fortunate for us.
Nice. Now, I was doing some research on the band. I have some friends that are huge fans of you guys. So I was getting a little of that. But you guys are kind of known as a touring band that's always on the road. How's it been not being able to go out on the road?
This was probably going to be the longest break we were going to have from touring anyway, and okay. I think there's 2 of us in the band that are new fathers, so any time at home more than they would usually get, I think, is very much appreciated. Nice. The other members of the band, I guess, are probably a little bit more geared towards touring these days, and we notice being at home a little bit more, but yeah, like you say, we are known as a touring band, and it's kind of got less and less as the years have gone on, because when you're younger, you can tour for like 11 months of the year and it not have an impact on you because you're just kind of ready to go. But we definitely cut it back a little bit. But we love to do it, so we're super excited to hopefully things will open up for everyone and hopefully we can get back on the road really soon.
Nice. Well, you got the record here, For Those That Wish to Exist. Came out February 26th. Congratulations on the record. I'll assume that most of this record has been recorded during the lockdown and the pandemic.
Yeah, all of it. It was a very strange process because usually we'll write separately. Like I think a lot of bands probably these days write using computers because it's so accessible for everyone now, which is amazing. But we'll always end up in the studio together when it comes down to actually committing stuff. Yeah. So the recording process was broken down into so many like different times and different locations. Like, for example, I recorded the bass in my office at home. Josh, our guitar player, recorded all the guitars at his home studio. Sam and Dan, our drummer and singer, they did some vocals in Brighton and then some more in Devon, which is in the west of the UK. Drums are tracked in an actual studio, but it was just me and our drummer down there. And then all the extra stuff like the choir and the strings and the horn sections and stuff. Usually we would all insist on being around for that kind of stuff, but we couldn't be because of the limitations of the amount of people that can be in a room together.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, when it came down to recording the horns for this section, they were recorded in Denmark, and Josh and Dan sort of watched over the session via Zoom, I guess, and sort of gave feedback over the internet, which was very strange for them, I think.
So
we made it work.
So despite having to record differently, I saw you got some guests on here: Parkway Drive, Royal Blood, Biffy Clyro. How does that come about with bands? I've always seen a lot of bands that'll collaborate with other artists, but does somebody make a phone call? Is it suggested by the record label? Like, is it because you guys are friends and maybe have been on the road together? How do those collaborations come about?
So it was a bit of both, I guess. Like Mike from Royal Blood, he lives where Sam and I live, and we've known him for many years now. So he's an old friend of the band. But it's been so cool on this one because we've always sort of seen him as someone that we would like to collaborate with, but there's never really been the right time or like the appropriate track for it. But as soon as we finished working on Little Wonder, which is the song that he features on, just instantly came to mind like, okay, this is the one for Mike. So let's hit him up and Sam just texted him and was like, cool, I'm all in, like, say no more kind of thing. And it was kind of the same with Winston from Parkway Drive, because he's someone that we've known for years now. We've toured with those guys. I think 2009 or 10 was the first time we toured with them, maybe. So we've known those guys for ages. And again, in Impermanence, a section sort of appeared for him, and we were just like, it has to be Winston. And again, he was super excited to be on the track. So that was really cool. With Simon from Biffy Clyro, he's someone that we don't know particularly well. I think Sam and him have like maybe met once or twice at festivals and stuff like that. But they're a band that we've loved for so many years now. Kind of the same with the other two tracks, where the part was just like, wouldn't it be really sick to have Simon Neil on this? And we had some friends kind of link it up, and he sent over his parts when we were finishing some vocals in Devon, and it was just amazing. It's perfect for the part.
Awesome. Well, despite it being recorded differently than normal, it's all working out. You guys are having some success over here with Animals on the radio, kind of like your first real success here in the States with airplay on the radio. I know you have it over in the UK and stuff, but it's a killer track. I've been listening to it over the last couple of weeks. We've been playing it. So congratulations on this success. I'm sure you wish you could get over here to the States and play it live and give people a new record.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, we've definitely seen the live thing growing for us over the past couple of years, but radio's always been a little trickier for us to break into. So it's definitely picked up on this album, which is, we're aware how important a part radio plays in a band's growth, particularly in the States. Like, it feels like it's still a really big component of a band succeeding. So we're very grateful for that.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you said that. I mean, I'm biased, obviously, being in radio, but I think it is definitely it's still viable. Local radio, you still can touch people, locally and stuff. So we are happy to be playing the new tune. Band formed back in 2004. You've been in the band since 2006, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
It's been a while.
2006, yeah.
But you guys have gone through some lineup changes, and obviously, on the sadder side of things, passing in the band. Has it brought you guys together? How you guys get along from 2006 now here in 2021? Is it just a band, or are you brothers? Like, or is there a friendship there?
I mean, the core of the group has remained really since 2006, which would be Dan, our drummer, Sam, our singer, and myself. I had about 6 or 7 months out of the band for some personal stuff, but the three of us have been together in the band the whole time. And when Adam joined the band in 2014, maybe, he was someone that we already knew, and we had toured with. Like, we had done like a 3-month tour with him, so we knew him really well, and we had toured with his old band. So he's he's been through all this, like you mentioned, in the really more difficult parts of the band's history over the past couple of years. He was around for all of that. And with Josh, our newest guitarist, feels strange saying that now because he feels like he's been around forever. But he was a friend of the band as well, and like a very close friend of Tom's. And when Tom passed away, the four of us were thinking, well, there's only one man for the job, and it was Josh. So we feel very lucky to have him, because I think someone that you're not that close with walking into that situation, it would have been extremely difficult for not only the social side of things to work, but the writing as well. And I'm not saying like it was straight away just like the easiest thing in the world to like make music with Josh, because he has such a strong creative mind that I think it took a little bit of adjusting for him to think, I'm going to contribute material, but these guys also have very strong feelings about what this band needs to sound like. So there's some figuring out there, but I think particularly on this record, the dynamic in the group is it's super strong, and we're very much like brothers. And that might sound kind of a little bit cheesy almost, but I really believe that, and I think everyone else in the band would say that.
I think it's very important. I see with like a lot of older bands and stuff, bands from the UK like Def Leppard. They're brothers. They have been together for a very long time. And then you would see, back in the day, Motley Crue, like they're on 4 different buses and 4 different planes. And they didn't get along. And I've heard some other bands where it's basically almost like a business arrangement. And and it's kind of weird, being a fan of a band or following a band and finding out they don't really like each other.
Yeah.
They come on stage, do their thing, and then they're gone.
It's the success of the band that keeps them together, not the fact that they kind of enjoy being with each other.
Yeah.
There's been a few bands that I've seen at the years, like at festivals or whatever, like big bands that we all look up to, and just see them not hanging out. And then like you might hang out with one of them and they'll be like, yeah, I don't know where that guy is, I don't see him, or like they'll all fly separately and all this stuff. And I genuinely don't ever see our band getting like that. Like in the few instances that we've been able to get in a room together over the past year for recording or press or photo shoots, whatever, it's been like a little bit like a family reunion.
I'm sure that something like with this, that we've never really dealt with, in recent times, this is going to bring people together more, because you're going to be more appreciative that you are in the room together. Whether it's doing press or going on tour, or just friendships that maybe you've Zoomed, but you haven't actually had like actual contact. So I think that's gonna make people appreciate things, not just in a band setting, but just in general.
Absolutely. I think there'll be a really awkward period of transition back to seeing your friends at a pub or whatever. But once that little moment has passed, it'll be I think everyone's gonna be super stoked to be seeing each other again.
Awesome, man. Well, we look forward to hopefully getting you on the road. Not exactly a band that has fans that are going to be socially distancing. But I'm sure it'll be interesting to get back on the road. What do you envision seeing when that happens?
We've announced 4 shows in the UK as part of sort of the album rollout, and they're all in they're not small venues, but they're smaller than we would usually play. And I think the kind of people that are going to have bought tickets for those shows are going to be the like diehard fans, and it will be their first show of that size and like of that kind that they've been to in ages. I think people are going to be so overwhelmed by it all, and like us on stage will be so excited by it, because you miss that energy so much. Particularly as a performer, like you thrive on that energy, and when that's taken away for such a long time against your will, you do crave it a lot.
It's definitely going to be adjusted getting back into the normality, but I'm sure we'll get back to it, because I know, like you said, people are definitely craving it. Alec, for those that wish to exist, that record is available now wherever you consume your music. We'll keep spinning. I keep saying spinning, but it's in a computer. We don't actually spin anything anymore, but we'll keep playing Animals. Though I do go home and spin, because I'm a big vinyl guy. So I have a huge vinyl collection. So we'll keep supporting the band. We'll hopefully see you over here in the States. And I thank you for taking some time, man.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. You take care.